So I really didn't want to do this video today. I was actually going to do it yesterday. I decided to alter that and do my K-pop Demon Hunter review, which nobody watched. Thank you guys. That just kind of proves the point that nobody cares about my thoughts on these movies. So let's not waste any more time doing it. But I was going to talk about this yesterday and I didn't. And I want to kind of be upfront with everybody. This is not a toxic video. This is not a hate video. If you guys have been following me for a while, I really kind of try to focus on positivity. But at the same time, I think there's room in order to talk about some of the tough topics about things that we love. And in this case, I'm talking about Fantastic Four not doing very well financially, had a huge second weekend drop off, and it doesn't look good. It's actually really bad for the movie, and it's really bad for Marvel and the MCU. And I kind of just want to talk about this, talk about the numbers. What does this mean? Is it time to hit a panic button? What went wrong? I just kind of want to have this discussion. Again, I'm not trying to be toxic. I'm not the one going, hey, they did this because of diversity or anything, because I think the answer is not just, a clean cut and dry, this is what happened. I think it's a multiple different reasons, like why the MCU is struggling right now. It's like a death of a thousand cuts. There's a lot of things in play right now. So I just kind of want to give my thoughts on it. So if you guys are coming in and you're finding me for the first time, or maybe you're a longtime viewer, just don't like me and never subscribed, please just do me a favor. Help a brother out. Just hit the like and subscribe button. It would help out so much if you just do that. So please just hit the like and subscribe, and I would appreciate it. So Fantastic Four, right now, let's look at the box office. Right now, websites are basically saying Fantastic Four is a box office flop, bombs with a 38.7 million this weekend with 67% drop. Let's go over to the box office mojo. Right now is sitting at 367 worldwide. Now, we can look at this as this is the second weekend. This is only the second weekend, so that there is some positivity going there. Like, hey, we're going into the second weekend. Yes, it was a huge drop off, but we know Marvel wanted this to do very, very well. Like they just had a string of flops, and if you don't believe me, I'm gonna pull them up right now. Like, you can look at Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts only made 382 worldwide, and it's in total run at the box office 382. It was a financial failure for the studio, and it's just something that we're not accustomed to seeing with Marvel. Captain America did a little better with 415 million worldwide, but again, with all the reshoots and everything that happened with that movie, again, another financial failure. And now we're looking at Fantastic Four, and this is looking like three strikes and you're out scenario. It looks like this movie is not going to make his money back. It's not going to break even. And again, I do want to emphasize that it's the second weekend. Who knows? This movie might have legs for days. But as of right now, just, being very optimistic here and being very fair, let's call it what it is, it's not doing well with 367. Now, I also want to point out that me breaking down these numbers in no way talks about the quality of the film. I think Fantastic Four is a damn good movie. It is a really good movie. I thought, I'm glad that Marvel was able to finally get the Fantastic Four formula down. And I think Thunderbolts was a really fantastic movie too. I have my gripes with it, but at the end of the day, it's a really solid movie. And I enjoyed Captain America Brave New World a lot more than most people did. In fact, I must have watched this movie at least 4 or 5 times. I really enjoyed this movie. But again, I have my thing that I kind of feel iffy about when it comes to that movie. With that said, I just want to point out that my critique on the numbers is not reflecting how I feel about the movies, because I thought all 3 movies were really good. Now let's talk about the hard truth. Why are these movies bombing? Why is Marvel failing time in, time out? And again, I can ask 50 people and 50 people will give me different answers. I think it's a combination of so many different things. Whether we're talking about, COVID changing a lot of the stuff. Like, we could talk about superhero fatigue. We can talk about COVID changing things. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I used to go to the theaters like 3 times a week. I go maybe twice a month, if I even do that. Sometimes I go months without going to the movies. The fact of the matter is, there are too many people out there that are inconsiderate, that are on their phones in the theater. Like, not only like it's getting worse, right? Because not only are they on their phones at the theater, right, just texting. Now I got people taking pictures, recording stuff for TikTok and Instagram. They're on their phone chatting with people. Like, people are so inconsiderate, and a lot had, COVID did a lot of that. COVID trained these people that they can just act, and they have no manners, they have no etiquette anymore. Also, prices of movie theaters are expensive. I try to go on early matinee days, or I tried to go on $5 Tuesdays. When I went to go see Superman 2-3 times, I saw Superman on a Tuesday or an early matinee where I was only paying $5 to $7. But movie theaters are really expensive right now. By the time you pay for gas and go to the theater and all that, it's very, very expensive. If you have a family of 5 or 6, man, you're looking at $100, $150 just to go to a movie. So the movie situation isn't good. Not only that, Disney Plus did what it did. It taught people very early on that, hey, you can just wait for these movies. In 30 to 45 days, it's going to be on Disney Plus, and you can watch it there. I don't know how many people I talked to said, hey man, did you catch Fantastic Four? Oh no, I'll wait for Disney Plus. I mean, that's sort of the nature of the beast right now. Basically, Disney and these streaming service has taught us as viewers that we can wait to see certain movies. If it's not a movie that is like an absolute spectacle, like Deadpool and Wolverine, we can just wait. I think certain movies will definitely break that mark. I think Spider-Man, people are going to run out to see Spider-Man. I do think Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars will do well. Will it do as good as Infinity War and Endgame? I mean, the jury's still out on that one. We do not know. We're not going to know what the effects of all this stuff did to these Avengers. But, I mean, we just have no build up to anything. Like, we're getting ready to go into Avengers Doomsday. We don't even know who the Avengers are. We have no idea who's on Sam's team. We got the Thunderbolts that are comprised of rejects and Disney Plus characters that a lot of people don't even like. Like, look at the numbers. I'm not making this up. Guys. Look, people do not care, right? Obviously, people do not care. And that is a problem. I'm not making this up. I'm not coming out here and hating just to hate. I gave every one of these movies a positive and a well above average score when I reviewed these movies. And I highly recommend all 3 of these films. But let's just call it the way it is. If we're going to praise them for doing fantastic, no pun intended, we also need to criticize them when things aren't working. Everybody knows that ever since Endgame, the MCU has been an absolute mess. We have no connective tissue. People don't know where to go. And so many people dropped off that they're almost daunted by the idea of even trying to get back into it. Like, maybe people are like, hey, I want to see Fantastic Four, but man, I missed the last 2 or 3 Marvel movies. Like, maybe I'll just wait because I don't know where it fits in. I don't want to catch up. Then people went and saw Doctor Strange 2, and they were completely lost because you have to watch WandaVision in order to even get an idea what the hell was going on in Doctor Strange 2. My wife never watched WandaVision. The last time she saw Wanda was at the end of Avengers Endgame. She looked at me, she's like, when did she have kids? And I had to sit there and explain, well, there was this mini series on Disney Plus. Like, it made viewers have to do homework in order to watch it. And I really like Doctor Strange, right? I think sometimes we're a little hard on phase 4 and 5. I don't know if we're in 6. See, that's another problem. I don't even know what phase we're in. I have no idea. Are we getting ready to enter phase 6? Were we already in phase 6? Back in the day, it was so easy. An Avengers movie came out, you knew the phase was over. Then you move into the next phase. I mean, there was some kind of like Ant-Man took place after Age of Ultron, and Ant-Man ended the phase. But for the most part, Avengers was your season finale of that phase, and you moved into the next phase. But we don't know. I have no idea. What was the last movie in phase 4? I don't know. What was the last movie in phase 5? Are we in phase 5? Are we in phase 6? I follow this stuff daily, and I don't know the answers to this stuff. That is a problem. If I'm having a problem, then the casual public is having the same problem. And it got to the point where people were like, we don't know what's going on. We don't know who these characters are. Who are the Eternals? Why do we care? Who's Shang-Chi? Why are you doing this? Why? I thought Black Widow was dead. When did Wanda have kids? Why is there screaming ghosts going around? What the hell is going on? Like, these are all very valid criticisms. And I think it's fair to criticize something that you love. Look, everything has a shelf life. Okay, you, me, everything. We are born, and one day we are going to die. Everything that has a beginning has an end, quoted from The Matrix. Everything that has a beginning has an end. That is just the facts of life. Marvel was never going to stay on top forever. Everything that is gonna be on top will eventually fall down, and then something else will rise to take its place. If you look at the history of cinema, it has always been that way. Whether you're talking about westerns, you're talking about comedies in the 80s, action movies in the 90s, like, everything has its place, and everything gets cycled out. Marvel was the top thing 6-7 years ago. Everybody, it was a conversation piece. Everybody was talking about it. And guess what? It died. And we can sit here and we can discuss all the reasons why it died. And I'm telling you, there's many, 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 many different reasons why it died. It was poor scripts, COVID, Disney Plus, a mess of a plan for phase 4 and phase 5, some of their best actors going bye-bye, people getting comic book fatigue, bad comic book movies coming out, a comic book movie every 30 to 60 days. Every time you turn around, boom, there's a new comic book movie coming out. Like, people got oversaturated. There are many, many, many different things on the reason why the MCU is in the state it is. And I'm sorry to say this, when you lose people, it's hard to bring people back. Right? Like, look at my channel for an example. This is a bad example, but just look at my channel for an example. I have 28,000 subscribers. 5 years ago, man, my channel was booming. I put out a video, it was guaranteed to get 10, 15,000 views. Now, I am lucky if my video gets 500. 500. Can you imagine going from 15,000 views to 500? That's like talking to nobody. And all because I got drunk one night and I did a video about Parasite. I was drunk, I was ignorant, and I wanted to do something stupid, and I got in front of the camera and I did it. And guess what? I paid the price. I got backlash. People were talking about me. I lost tons of subscribers. The people that didn't unsubscribe just stopped watching my videos. And guess what? No matter how much I change my content and I go more positive and I do more reviews and I do shorts and I do, those people are gone. I'm not getting those people back. I need to work hard to bring in new people. And that's just the way it goes. When Marvel, after phase 3 ended, after Endgame, they didn't help the situation by not having a good plan. They like you should have automatically greenlit a Captain America movie, Doctor Strange 2. I know Black Panther had a different situation, Chadwick Boseman's passing, that was out of everybody's hands. But you start the next phase with a character that died and a group of characters no one heard of and another character no one heard of. Like, you got very arrogant. Marvel got very arrogant, thinking they could just do anything because they did a movie with a talking tree and a raccoon and it made tons of money. But not realizing that was at the height of the MCU. And the fact that we were leading up to Thanos and the Infinity War, and you had to watch Guardians of the Galaxy to get more of an idea of who Thanos was. There were so many different things that were just firing on all cylinders back then. And then you just mess up and you mess up and you mess up. And we're not even going to get into the social politics of it all, because that's another conversation for another day completely. And I don't really agree with all the social politics stuff that people on other channels are always pointing out. But you shot yourself, and Marvel shot themselves in the foot. Right? You built Brie Larson up to be like this Superman type character in Captain Marvel. I actually really liked the first movie. I put it in the top 15 MCU movies, or maybe even a little higher, like maybe my number 11 or 12. Really enjoyed that movie, but you didn't even give her a proper sequel. You BVS'd her. Instead of giving us Man of Steel, you threw Batman and Wonder Woman and all this crap into Superman 2, and you BBS'd her. And that was sort of the downfall, one could argue, sort of the downfall of the DCEU. That's a discussion for another day. Don't want to talk about that here. But how DC did Henry Cavill dirty by not giving him a proper sequel. They did the same thing to Brie Larson. Hey, let's throw Kamala Khan in there. Let's throw Miss Marvel in there. Let's throw Photon in there. Who are these characters? Oh, they're on Disney Plus. So not only did you do Brie Larson and the Captain Marvel character wrong by not giving her a direct sequel, you throw characters in there that people have to do homework in order to watch. And it was a financial flop. The Marvels was a financial flop. I actually enjoyed the Marvels. It's not my favorite MCU movie. It's on the low end of it, but it was a decent movie. This is a character, Brie Larson, Captain Marvel, is a character that could have been your version of Superman. You could have done more with the Skrull storyline. You could have done Secret Invasion, Captain Marvel's Secret Invasion. You could have done Secret Invasion as an Avengers movie. Captain Marvel should have got a direct sequel. They should have stayed the course with these trilogies. Okay, Endgame is over with. Let's get out the next couple Spider-Man movies. Let's do Doctor Strange 2 and 3. Let's do Black Panther 2 and 3. Let's do Captain Marvel 2 and 3. Let's do Ant-Man 3. Let's give Sam a new movie. Let's give him his own trilogy. Falcon Winter Soldier, that series should have never happened. Should have been a movie. And then you build to the next Avengers movie, which is Secret Invasion. Like, this is not complicated stuff. You know? And then you can start building on other characters. You want to throw Eternals in there? Throw them in one of the movies. Introduce them like you did Spider-Man and T'Challa. Move forward. Like, this is not complicated stuff. I don't understand why if I thought of this, how people getting paid millions of dollars in a boardroom can't think of this stuff. It was just a mess of everything. They completely fumbled the ball. You ever watch football? I forgot, it was a player from the Eagles, I believe. Like, he's running like an 80-yard touchdown, gets down to the 1-yard line, starts celebrating, and drops the ball. He never crossed the plane. That's what Marvel did. You are running for a touchdown, and before you cross the goal line, you drop the ball on the 1-yard line and started celebrating. You fumbled the ball. And Kevin Feige deserves the criticism. He deserves the backlash. He's not fault-free. He's just as much at fault as Bob Iger and Bob Chapek. This is a multiple situation with multiple different issues, right? We're talking about COVID, movie prices, movie theater etiquette with people that go to the movies. You're talking about Disney Plus, streaming, the economy being what it is, the movies being an absolute mess. We have no idea who the Avengers are. We have no idea what's going on, right? It wasn't until the last 2 to 3 movies he started connecting a little bit. And then you expect people to do homework, watch the Marvels, watch WandaVision, watch Loki, watch this, watch that. People have busy lives. Like, I'm in this space. I do YouTube videos every single day. And I can't keep up with some of this stuff. And not to mention, a lot of the stuff wasn't good. She-Hulk wasn't good. Moon Knight, I dropped off halfway through the season. And then it gets to the point where I, as the viewer and consumer, just lost interest. I never watched Agnetha. I never watched Ironheart. I don't want to watch this stuff anymore. So it's a multiple different reasons of why Marvel is a disaster right now. And like I said, everything has a shelf life. We can sit here and we can point to this, and this, but the answer is it's not just that. It's not just that. It's all of that. It's everything. It's everything. It's a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and a little bit of this. And again, I'm in this space and I don't know what the hell phase we're in. I have no idea what phase we're in. Does that mean I'm not going to get excited when the next Marvel movie comes out? Absolutely not. I'll be there opening weekend. I will be there opening weekend. But even me as a consumer, I used to go see these movies 3, 4, 5, 6 times in theaters. Now I watch a Marvel movie once and I'm like, I'll wait to come out on Disney Plus. I'll wait. You know, like Thunderbolts, it was okay. I caught it the second and third time on Disney Plus. Captain America, I watched it 5 times. First time in theater, 4 more times on Disney Plus. Fantastic Four, great movie. One would say fantastic. I had no interest to go see that in the theater again. You know? There are certain movies I will see in theaters again. But, you know, Marvel has lost that rewatchability for me in the theater. Nothing I have watched in the MCU, minus Fantastic Four, has given me that wow, holy crap. Like, I don't have that Winter Soldier feel anymore where you see like the helicarriers crashing through Washington and all this stuff. And like, where is the wow factor? You know, what about the Battle of Wakanda, man, with Killmonger and T'Challa? Like, where's the wow factor? It lost the magic. It lost the magic. And we can sit here and go, well, maybe it's just hard to recapture that magic after we see Endgame. But I disagree. I disagree. You know, I feel like give us characters we care about. Go back to the trilogies. Sam should have had a trilogy. You know, Doctor Strange should have finished his trilogy. You should have gave Captain Marvel her proper movies. And then you start building new characters like you did in Phase 2 and Phase 3. Again, I just want to point out, I don't even know what phase we're in. I think we're getting ready to enter Phase 6, but we used to have Avengers movies, which were the season finale. We haven't had an Avengers movie since Endgame, and we're already in the next 2 phases. What's going on? You can't sit there and train your audience to do one thing and then completely change it and expect your audience to remember that. You could have created a new Avengers team. You know, give Sam, instead of Falcon Winter Soldier, give Sam his own movie, right? You know, him and Bucky and Sharon Carter, start building that. And then you do Brave New World as the 5th film, which would be the second Sam's film. And then you do an Avengers movie with these characters. Like, this isn't hard. You had the formula. Why'd you mess it up? Why'd you mess it up? You ever had a recipe and you followed this recipe and it was perfect, and then just one day you're like, I just want to add a little bit of this. I want to change it up. I want to spice it up, and you messed up everything. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know? But I'm going to get ready to end this video because this was supposed to be a 5-minute video. We're going on 25 minutes in. So I obviously I had a lot on my chest about this that I wanted to talk about, because I see people scrambling online. Why did Fantastic Four bomb? Why did Thunderbolts do bad? Why did Captain America Brave New World? These are good movies, right? These are good films. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how good your film is. If nobody wants to go see it, nobody's going to know how good it is. And I just wanted to kind of talk about it because, yes, it kind of bothers me because I'm a big MCU fan. And to see these movies just doing so poorly, it's very, very bad. It's not good. And obviously, I'm not mentioning DC for a reason, because I think that's a conversation for another day, another video. I'm not trying to compare DC to Marvel. I've done that in the past where I talked about like Black Panther destroyed the DCEU. You know, right now, it's just really weird. I think there is a comic book fatigue, and you have to put better movies out there. People need to leave the theater happy. And I don't think anybody's leaving Thunderbolts, Captain America, or Fantastic Four happy. They're leaving going, oh, that was good, but where's the happiness? Where's the excitement? Like, oh, man, that was great. I want to go see that again. I'm on cloud 9. You leave it and you're like, oh, that was great, but are you happy? You know, so it's not doing well. Makes me sad. I'm a big fan of all these movies. I think they're all really, really good. And I think they did turn it around with these last three movies. But unfortunately, when you have a big ship, it's hard to turn it around. And when you lose people, it's hard to bring it back. So why the Fantastic Four bomb? Or why the bombing? Because it still has a chance to. It's a far chance, guys. I'm gonna be real. It's got a lot ahead of it in order to break even. But why did this happen? The answer is very simple. There's many different reasons. Nobody can list just one or two reasons on why the MCU is doing bad, because the answer is dozens and dozens of reasons. You know, when something goes wrong in your car and it's just one thing and you let it go, you might be able to ride by a little bit, but then something else goes and something else goes, and eventually you put it off for so long that everything is wrong with your car. Which, knock on wood, hopefully nothing happens to my car. But that's sort of what happens. You can only put off certain things. When one mistake starts equaling many mistakes, it's harder to come back from many mistakes than course correct just one or two. So why is it doing bad? The answer is many. No one has the definitive answer because there's many different answers. So anyway, guys, thank you guys. If you stuck around for the whole 26-minute plus video, do me a favor, like, just put like a thumbs up or something in the comments. I just want to see how many people stick around toward the end. Thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate each and every one of you. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys next time. Later, guys.